We light our chalice as a symbol of gratitude as we celebrate the abundance of our lives together. In this sanctuary, we harvest bushels of strength for one another and offer our crop with the hands of compassion and generosity. In the authentic and gentle manner of our connections, we cultivate a simple sweetness to brighten our spirits. May we be grateful for the ways we nourish and uplift each other, for it is the sharing of this hallowed time together that sustains us.
So stewardship, does anybody know what that word means? Anybody know what stewardship means? Yeah.
Helping others?
Helping others. Any other ideas what stewardship might mean? It's taking care. Yeah, so that's what taking care. And so something that we're talking about is how we take care of our church, our community, our congregation, the people of this world. So what I'd like you to do with the Legos in your hand, you each have your own unique Legos, as I'd like you to think about the gift that you have, that you feel something that you really love, something maybe that you're really good at, something about you that you think is just really unique and awesome and you're really proud of it, and just put those Legos together thinking of those things. So for me, I think about the fact that I really, really love to be creative, and that I love to teach, and I love to connect with people, which is why I'm probably the DLRE here. So that is the thing that I bring. Does anyone want to share what they bring in their Lego creation to the table here today? Anybody feel brave enough to share? So hope for peace on earth is the first block.
And then second block, happiness.
Happiness is the second block.
And third block,
Love. Love.
they're a weird combination.
And it's a weird combination, right? It is. Does anyone else want to share what they built? What they bring to the table here? You're not sure what you built. Sometimes we aren't sure what we've built either, right? Or what maybe we bring to the table. Does anyone else want to share? Mary?
Yeah. 3 things can be hard. I like to sing.
Sing.
I love working with kids.
Working with kids.
And I'm very organized.
Very organized. Very true. Very true. Yeah, Mary brings a lot to this table. She does. Anyone else want to share?
I'll share.
Oh, yeah,
I
that.
bring creativity and inspiration and patience for working with others.
Ooh, nice, nice. So something that I'd like you to do, if anybody else, does anyone else want to share? I want to give you the chance. You're good, Reverend John? You'll share during the sermon.
I'm sharing plenty.
So we all come to UCY as ourselves with our own gifts, right? And stewardship is about, one, recognizing what we bring to the table, but also how does it fit into the greater picture of things? How does it fit in this congregation? How does it fit in the York community? How does it fit in Pennsylvania? And how does it fit in the world? So what we're doing today is let's think about this as maybe just UCY for right now. And what I'd like you to do is add your piece, thinking about what you bring to the table, into here. So add it on. There's all these different pieces that we've gotten to build. Some things fall so other things can be built stronger. That happens, right? And we work together. What the song was this morning that I loved was building bridges. And I think one thing that I love about working with children and youth in the congregation is that they bring these incredible talents too. Stewardship doesn't start in adulthood, it starts from the very beginning, right? Do you have something you want to share?
We had a fire last night.
You had a fire last night. Wow. Did you have people come and take care of that?
Man.
Yeah. That's good. So we have lots of people that help us, right? So we will have this creation out during stewardship. And what I'd like you all to do, maybe at the end of this service, after you've heard all of this wonderful music Gretchen's providing and all of the wonderful visuals we have and the wonderful words we're going to hear, I'd like you then to think of maybe those few things that you bring and add it into here and see how that can start to help you find your way to be a steward of this congregation, but also of the greater world. All right? Now, if we have Weeping Beach today, so we'll have the children who would like to go to Weeping Beach to our RE class. We'll go out this door. Any youth, young adults, or anyone who really wants to help us figure out what our kind of old youth room and carriage house is about, I have a really fun process for us to go through called Grow, and it'll help us envision what kind of space we could have for our youth, young adults here that might help them find their own place. Yeah. Ooh. We'll leave that there. So actually, when you guys also, if you come up at the end of service, we just had love spelled out. Ooh, what did you build?
It's kind of like a spiraling flower.
Spiraling flower. Awesome.
And it's different colors. You can put the center into it, like this fits into it.
So leaving space for things to fit in. All right. So I know it's hard to cut away from the Legos. I'm like, we should have had this on a card and rolled it out maybe, right? Like, I don't want to leave the Lego table. But thank you, everyone. And we'll have the children who would like to come. You can meet us at the back door and we'll go. And any youth, young adults, or anyone who wants to come help, you'll come with me.
Our reading this morning is Famous by NAOMI SHIHAB. The river is famous to the fish. The loud voice is famous to silence, which knew it would inherit the earth before anybody said so. The cat sleeping on the fence is famous to the birds, watching him from the birdhouse. The tear is famous, briefly, to the cheek. The idea you carry close to your bosom is famous to your bosom. The boot is famous to the earth, more famous than the dress shoe, which is famous only to floors. The bent photograph is famous to the one who carries it, and not at all famous to the one who is pictured. I want to be famous to shuffling men who smile while crossing streets, sticky children in grocery lines, famous as the one who smiled back. I want to be famous in the way a pulley is famous, or a buttonhole, not because it did anything spectacular, but because it never forgot what it could do.
We will call this place our home, the dirt in which our roots may grow. Though the storms may push and pull, we will call this place our home. We'll tell our stories on these walls. Every year measure how tall, and just like a work of art, we'll tell our stories on these walls. Let the years we're here be kind, be kind. Let our hearts like doors open wide, open wide. Settle our bones like wood over time. Give us bread, give us salt, give us wine. Little broken, little new. We are the impact and the glue, capable more than we know. We call this fixer upper home. With each year our color fades, slowly our paint chips away, but we will find the strength and the nerve it takes to repaint and repaint and repaint every day. Let the years we're here be kind, be kind. Let our hearts like doors open wide. Settle our bones like wood over time. Give us bread, give us salt, give us wine. Let the years we're here be kind, be kind. Let our hearts like doors open wide. Settle our bones like wood salt, give us wine. Smaller than dust on this map lies the greatest thing we have, the dirt in which our roots may grow, and the right to call it home.
I want to be famous to shuffling men who smile while crossing streets, sticky children in grocery lines, famous as the one who smiled back. I want to be famous in the way a pulley is famous, or a buttonhole, not because it did anything spectacular, but because it never forgot what it could do. Feels strange to use those words after hearing something that spectacular. Thank you again, Jesse. Consider, what do you want to be famous for, and in what way? And in this particular instance, I am asking the collective you, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of York, those gathered here today, those joining us online, as well as those who may later watch the video recording or listen to the podcast audio recording or read the transcript. How many of you knew that in addition to the weekly video recording we make thanks to our hardworking tech volunteers, we also have Jason editing that video, as well as ensuring the service and sermon are available in other formats? You know it's available in 3 formats every week? And how many of you know that when Gretchen steps away from this keyboard to lead the choir, the music that continues to play is not some pre-purchased thing. That is something that Gretchen has taken the time to pre-record so that she can then step out from behind the keyboard to direct the choir. How many of you know that Elizabeth and I may touch base on the time for all ages, but that she conceives and designs what she shares with you, ensuring that UU values are represented, different kinds of learning are considered, and that we try to engage everyone in the room, and she does that here and at Lancaster. There's all kinds of hidden labor that makes UUC York what it is, and I have barely touched on the many gifts from our volunteers. What makes all of this possible, literally, is your generosity of your time and of your talent, and also of your money. Right? The third word there is usually treasure. It's your money, your time, your talent, and your money. Last year, this congregation held a collaborative workshop, and out of that work arose our new mission and vision statements, which were then voted on and affirmed by the congregation. I'd like to share them with you again right now. We do share the mission statement at the start of every service. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of York is to nurture a loving community, inspire lifelong spiritual and personal growth, and act for a better world. And the vision, we are a thriving congregation of all ages, embracing each other and partnering with those in our community who work toward justice, fairness, and equity. If you weren't able to be a part of this workshop, I'm so sorry, because it was really an amazing time that we spent together, asking people what they love most about this community, these buildings, these grounds. The stories that we shared touched everyone's hearts, stirred memories, and conjured up dreams of what is to come. Much like our shared Lego project here, thinking about what we want to build together out of all what we already have and what we bring uniquely with us is an exercise in dreaming. But we can consider other verbs too. That's what our consultant who led our workshop wanted us to think about as we considered finalizing a statement. That consultant paid a fair wage for his time, thanks to the budget provided by your generosity, right? He wanted us to think about verbs, about the action words that took us from merely considering the community we wanted to making that a reality. So in our mission statement, we have 3 strong words: nurture, inspire, act. And then if we consider our vision statement, we also hear these words of strength: thriving, embracing, partnering, working. So to nurture, we want this place to feel safe for all who seek shelter here. We know that UUC York is where you find a place to pause and gather yourself for the week ahead, a place where you can meet people who share your values, a place where you can feel connected to something larger than yourself. That happens in this sanctuary, and it happens in the Carriage House, and it happens on Zoom, and it happens on our stunningly beautiful grounds. And all these places and spaces take time and money to maintain. To inspire, we want to support healthy ministry, healthy staff relationships, and vibrant volunteer connections. Worship is our key time of shared inspiration, and without the staff and the volunteer contributions, worship simply would not happen. There is a magical, nearly alchemical thing that happens when I think up some theme or another, and then Gretchen picks music, and the choir or song leader or two bring that music to life, and the worship associate gives voice to the reading. Great job today, Don, thank you. And Robert makes visuals, and Doug coordinates the tech team for Zoom, and Elizabeth creates a time for all ages, and Jason makes sure that all these gifts are accessible again and again, even after the fact. What happens can transform both those who gather for worship and those who co-create it. To act means we are rested enough, safe enough, inspired enough, empowered enough to articulate our dreams, to move them out of our thoughts and hearts and into our hands, into our work together in the world. It's something that came up yesterday in our UU immersion class. Elizabeth's not here to get the credit for it. This place needs to be comfortable enough for us to feel, we need to feel comfortable enough here to go out and be uncomfortable and work in the world, right? And none of this happens without time, without many talents, and without treasure. It simply doesn't. I want to be famous to shuffling men who smile while crossing streets, sticky children in grocery lines, famous as the one who smiled back. I want to be famous in the way a pulley is famous or a buttonhole, not because it did anything spectacular, but because it never forgot what it could do. Because it never forgot what it could do. Today, I want us to remind each other of what we can do. That's what stewardship is about. Reminding ourselves about the ways we have built this place and community we love, and the ways we can continue to invest in the future that we want to see. We are pausing here in the middle of the stewardship campaign, right? This is the midpoint. We are not doing a big pep rally at the start or a giant guilt-inducing push at the end, right? This is truly a pause. I want the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of York, y'all, never to forget what you can do. What it has done, what you have done, and what you can do in the future. We are in a time of transition, not just ministerial transition, which we will pause to grieve and to celebrate together in a few months, but a time of transition in the world, in the community, in the larger faith community. This summer, Unitarian Universalists from across the nation will gather and vote on the proposed Article 2 amendment, updating our bylaws as part of a regular process, but also considering deeply the language that is at the heart of our faith. This fall, the United States and our states and our counties and our boroughs and our townships, our communities will hold another vote, of course. It's a big year for change. So we pause together to consider what generosity has already brought us, what it continues to bring us. When we give to sustain a shared and beloved, imperfect and loving project like a faith community, we are dealing in radical hope. We do not know what change will come. There are anticipated changes, and there are the ones that shock and surprise us. What are we famous for? What do we want to be famous for? What must we remind ourselves never to forget what we can do together? We are stronger together. Our resources will do more together. Your gifts of time and talent and treasure, again, that's money, y'all. That means ensuring this place continues to be a place of nurture, a place of inspiration, and a place of action. Not just for all of those already here, but for all of those who will join us in the future. Take a pause. Take a breath. Consider your gifts and what you want to invest in this beautiful place that you have created and that you have the power not just to sustain, but to grow. Never forget what you can do.
And notice the words.
please join us in extinguishing our chalice and your home chalices, if you have lit them, with these words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Never forget what you can do. You can do so much. So may it be.
Shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. I reach out to you, you reach out to me, with all of our voices and all of our visions. Friends, we could make such sweet harmony, building bridges between our